just say no.
Put away your inhibitions, let the beast in you just get loose. We all young, wild, and different. We can all get lit from a little. I know you're terrified about what the future lies, but there's no compromising. It's my way or the highway. We all just slave the lust, hard building, breaking trust. It's gonna get wild when we come out, like go get loud.
I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's the Cowboys going up against the Seahawks. With that, let's get you up to Seattle. We're standing by are our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Dallas Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks. One man in the backfield, Elliott. He's going to get the football. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Okay, starting lineup time offensively, Charles, for the Dallas Cowboys.
And how about them at number 4 in the 2016 draft? Big needs on the defensive line. and they go with the running back.
They go star power.
They went star power, but Ezekiel Elliott, in a lot of ways, was exactly the right decision. When they had winning success in 2014, they did it running the football. Elliott can do that for them again.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The man with over 1,000 catches, Jason Witten, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down. And a look at Seattle's defense.
Earl Thomas is the rangiest free safety in the game. Great reactions, great understanding, and boy, will he strike you when the ball's in his area.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6. Halfback sent in motion. On third down, it's Prescott. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
A first down carry by Elliott. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37.
Partner, I know you call the play-by-play, but you know your ball. If I throw these numbers at you, all right, 6 yards shy of 2,000 of total yards from scrimmage for a rookie running back. What do you think?
Sounds like me in high school.
Sounds like you doing it, right?
It's really fascinating at what he was able to do. The thing for me, though, he did that as a rookie. Where do you go from here? I mean, can you keep going up from those numbers your sophomore campaign?
I think that you can. He's had examples of that preceding him in the NFL. Some guys who are in the Hall of Fame right now. Remember, he had 16 total touchdowns because it's not just his ability to run it. He can catch it out of the backfield as well. No one plays harder than this guy does, down in and down out. I think he's just going to keep getting better.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
It's 2 there, and it's third down.
And the good thing about the top-notch safeties, they can play.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's third down. Prescott from the gun on third. Complete to Jason Wood.
They just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Now Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
So 2nd and goal here from the 9. Now Elliott. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And this is going to be incomplete. Des Bryant, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up a 4th down.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance and they have any decision to make on 4th down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
And look at this. They're keeping the punter on the sideline. They're going to go for it here on the opening drive. Now Prescott on 4th down. Flushed out right. And this is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And on the opening drive of the ball game, the defense comes up with a goal line stand. First carry for Thomas Rawls. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And this offense often hinges on one of the best tight ends in the league, and that's Jimmy Graham.
I think he made up for lost time when he got to the NFL because in college he was mainly a basketball player, a defender who couldn't score. Now he's flipped it around in the NFL. Every time he touches the ball, he's a threat to score.
Earlier, partner, when discussing Russell Wilson, you said you think he's best when Seattle is running back-centric. Is Thomas Rawls the centerpiece going forward there?
I think so because of what he did 2 seasons ago before he got hurt. Because he runs that offense the way they want it run. One cut, downhill, get upfield, and Thomas Rawls is perfect for that. If he stays healthy, that allows Russell Wilson now to throw the play action, the bootleg passes that really hurt other teams defensively.
And Rawls has youth on his side, just 23. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Complete. Richardson has it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Another run, but this time it's Rawls. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
They go play action here on first down. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. You know, Charles, for Graham, so much concern early in the season about whether he'd be ready to play this year, what would happen recovering from the tendon. Not only was he ready, he played every game this season for Seattle.
And it wasn't just the injury concern with Jimmy Graham. It's how Seattle runs their offense. Remember, when he was in New Orleans, he could expect a ton of passes to come his way. But in Seattle, that number was going to be reduced. Would he be able to maximize what they were going to throw in his direction? And he certainly did this year, 65 catches.
65 catches, just shy of 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, too. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Now a play fake here on first down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Baldwin coming off his first Pro Bowl appearance. He had career highs, Charles, in catches with 94, over 1,100 yards. That also a career high. Pretty good season for Doug Baldwin.
And I think the place that he really started to take off was midway through 2015. The connection between he and his quarterback, Russell Wilson, where they were playing more from the pocket, bigger plays downfield, that just propelled him into 2016. That, and anything he perceives as a slight, he uses it to his advantage, and he just goes out and plays.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
One of the things that's really difficult for an offense is often identifying how to block a 3-4 defense. Well, when they're coming on a blitz, even more difficult. They're elusive targets and hard to hit.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses, it's understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Following the penalty, it's Rawls. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
On 2nd down, Wilson. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Jamarcus Lawrence in there to sack him for a loss of 6. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. And a long way to go. They started that drive at their own 3, and they scored 3 from it.
What an excellent job by an offense that could have very easily just said, okay, let's just take a few plays safe, punt the ball away, and play some defense. Instead, they found a way to attack and put themselves in position to put points on the board.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
This time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Let's look ahead for a quick minute. We don't have the schedules yet for next year, but what we do have are the 5 international games that will be played, 4 in London and then 1 again in Mexico, Jacksonville, Baltimore, Miami, New Orleans, Cleveland, Minnesota, Rams, and Arizona. Those in London, and then Mexico's going to get a great game. The Raiders and New England.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And just think about the ones in London. Remember, they're splitting them between the 2 different stadiums in London, so they get a different flavor in all of these places. But Mexico, for the 2nd straight year, the Raiders are coming to town. That should be a whole lot of fun.
Should be a ton of fun and a very good matchup. Now Prescott. And that's caught by Beasley. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
Throwing, Prescott. And Beasley with it over the middle. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 14 there. And it'll be 1st down, Cowboys. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away.
Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit.
And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. They stay on the ground. Rolls again. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That one good for 12 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And, boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bringing an extra defensive back. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And that brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, as seen on TV, here's their resident strongman, John Ryan, on to punt. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Bryant, the lone receiver, left. They go play action here on 1st down. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there, for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Prescott now on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. Give him 2 yards on that play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away, and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. Flush to his right. He may try. And he coughed it up, and the Seahawks have recovered.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Wilson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
His throw incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and it's 3rd down. Ten yards to go on 3rd. On 3rd down, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. This is away, and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. Dallas get set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game.
And he is going to be wrapped up and slung to the turf. And the corner blitz gets him that time as he goes down for a short loss.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
It's caught on the right side, Williams. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Prescott to throw it. He completes it to Bryant. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had
adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
A nice, strong run there for Rawls. His coaches back in high school in Flint, Michigan, you know what his nickname was?
No, what was it?
The Train. The man can break some tackles on occasion.
Well, it makes sense when you watch runs like that, because when you're trying...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. David Irving in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Orlando Scandrick. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Terrence Williams, 42 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
He hits Jermaine Kearse. 20 yards on the pickup there. And it'll give the Seahawks a first down.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
This is Rawls. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Wilson, it's caught on the left side by Baldwin. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Here's Wilson. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down. Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Seattle. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football. Short yardage. Prescott got a man. It's complete. Williams. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. First down, Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. It's a pickup of 14 there. And the Cowboys are going to get a first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Elliott, and able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and it may be a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
A pretty good coverage there. Both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Eluding and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Mike Morgan in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And you can't do it much better than that.
Draw. Hard to admit that I used to draw. Portraiture in a human form. Doodle of a two-headed unicorn. It was soothing. Moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and a muse from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth to refuse to belong. No name nuisance. Stews in a bedroom. Oozing a brand new cuneiform. Barely commune with the horde. Got a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone amp to the yap of the magpie. Unseen hand dragging his graphite. Cross contour, a little bit of backlight. Black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get three dimensions stuffed in a two. Then it's off to a school where it's all you get to. Being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a two-bedroom doing menial jobs. Plus rhyming and stealing and being a clod. Distractions, freedom, a rod. I left some years of giving a light. I left some will the spirit away. I let my fears materialize. I let my skills deteriorate. Haunted by the thought of what I should have been. Continuing a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition with an ID crisis. Snap on the front lawn, look up in the sky. It's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. Will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Used to paint. Hard to admit that I used to paint. Natural light on a human face. Stenciled fire in his roommate's face. It was blooming addiction. A miss and a push and a pigment. Book like a tattooed pigskin look. Pinhead kids in a minute. Drank Kool-Aid from a tube of acrylic. And I grew up in a linseed oil or linen. Joy to the poison. Voice to the resin. Capture a map of a gesture. Back up, add a little accurate fat to the figure. Redo that, move that inward. Zinc white lightning shoots from his fingers. Studio strewn with illusion and tinctures. Stay tuned for the spooky adventures. You can imagine the stars that align when a forearm starts foreshortening right. Or a torso hung on a warping spine in proportion. Reads as warm and alive. Routine day with a dirt cheap brush. Then a week goes by and it goes untouched. Then 2, then 3, then a month. And the rest of your life to beat yourself up. I left some seasons eager to fall. I left some work to bury your life. I let my means of being dissolve. I let my person curl up and die. Eating up his innards and unfeasible anxiety is brutally committed to relinquishing his privacy, aligning with the trials of the anti-Midas. Snap on the back lawn, look up in the sky. It's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings.
Show me what you like. Hey, I put money, I can match it for ya. I'm in this in all white fit, looking like a brick and all them zippers on a jacket on ya. He got a thing for a Latin. He wanna hear a little Spanish in it.
Everyone, I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's the Cowboys going up against the Seahawks. With that, let's get you up to Seattle. We're standing by are our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks. Now it's Lucky Whitehead on the return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And what is this? They're lining up here to punt on first down. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. And not great starting field position here for the offense. Here's Thomas Rawls with his first carry. And a nice pickup as this one gets him. To the 10-yard line. On second down, here's Wilson. It's caught, blocked it. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. It goes as a gain of 8 and it moves the chains.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Now a play fake here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
On second down, Wilson. No, he doesn't have it. Maybe some alligator arms there going over the middle. Third down. The starters for the Seahawks of Seattle on the offensive side. Charles, they could use a big game from Thomas Rawls.
And they really loved what they got out of him last year because an undrafted player is not supposed to give you nearly 6 yards to carry in production. And that's exactly what he did. They need a big game out of him, and they expect it.
Third and long, it's Wilson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. This is Elliott. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. Tackle made by Deshaun Shedd. Here's the offense, and I don't know what more you can say at this point in his career about Jason Witten.
You just give him full respect. This is a guy who knows how to do everything on the football field. Not just catch the ball, but huge in the run game with his blocking at the line of scrimmage.
Prescott now from the 50. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Come on, let's go. 1, 9,
A first down throw for Prescott. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Cam Chancellor is one of the best safeties in the game, but with his linebacker size, that allows the team to use him wherever they want to make plays.
The give is to Elliott. And he'll go down at the 28. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. Down to the 25. A gain of 3, second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. And they'll try and burn some clock with a sneak. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side. Able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a first down.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move as they face a second down here. They go to Elliott again. And he's going to fight his way. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
And they're not going to get the kick off in time. The Cowboys will turn it over now to Dan Bailey for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 33. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Play clock winding down. They go back to the air here after the INT. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. David Irving in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Going for the deep ball. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. They'll have